Eala fights through to keep Abu Dhabi Open bid alive. Manila, Philippines. Filipina tennis ace Alex Eala had to dig deep to get into the quarterfinal round of the Mabudala Abu Dhabi Open early Thursday morning. Eala went down 0-4 in the deciding third set before storming back and finding the fight to grab the 2-6, 6-4, 7-6, 5 victory over Belarus' Alexandra Sasnovich. The Filipina, after the match, said that she really tried to claw back and find the fight, despite the stellar play of Sasnovich to keep herself in the running for the Abu Dhabi title. "Yeah, I think she started really well and in the tight moments. I think she also stepped up, especially with the serve and a lot of winners," she said in the post-match interview. "I really tried my best in those moments to fight. I really tried to find the fight. And in the end, I think, when I was coming back, I was able to find it, so I'm really proud of that," she added. Eala trailed 0-4 in the final set, as her Abu Dhabi quest looked doomed as she seemed running out of fuel. But the world number 45 tennister won the next 2 games to put herself on the board. Her opponent, though, moved to match point, 5-2, before the Filipina fought her way to the much-needed gritty victory. "I just think these moments are moments I only dreamt about. Selling out stadiums, it's insane," Eala said. "These matches in particular are really the ones that stick with you." And while she had a spirited victory in the round of 16, it will only be harder moving forward as she takes on world number 11 Ekaterina Alexandrova in the quarterfinals. A long way to go. And each round is even more of a challenge. I think it has its own unique challenges every match, so I'll try my best to recover and prepare for that one. After her match with the second-seeded Alexandrova in the singles action on Thursday night, Eala will have a quick turnaround as she teams up with Indonesia's Janice Tien as they face the second-seeded pair of Zhang Shuai and Christina Buxa in the doubles quarterfinal round. Under the white-hot Abu Dhabi sun, where the hard courts shimmer like mirrors and the air itself seems to test one's resolve, Alexandra Eala found herself fighting for more than just a place on the scoreboard. She was fighting to keep a dream alive. The Abu Dhabi Open had already demanded its price. Long rallies, unforgiving angles, and opponents who refused to yield had turned every match into a small war. For Eala, still carving her space on the professional tour, this was not unfamiliar territory. She had learned early that talent might open the door, but grit is what keeps it from slamming shut. From the first ball struck, the tension was unmistakable. Each exchange carried the weight of consequence. A missed forehand wasn't just an error, it was a reminder of how thin the margin was between staying alive in the tournament and watching it continue without her. The crowd sensed it too, leaning forward with every rally, drawn into the rhythm of effort and resistance unfolding before them. Eala's opponent pressed early, probing her movement, daring her to defend wider and strike harder. The rally stretched, sometimes cruelly so, pushing lungs and legs toward their limits. But Eala refused to retreat into caution. Instead, she met aggression with intent, stepping inside the baseline when it mattered most, redirecting pace with a calm that belied her age. There were moments when the match threatened to slip away. A break point squandered. A service game stretched to deuce one time too many. The familiar whispers of doubt hovered, those quiet, dangerous thoughts that ask how much you have left. Yet Eala answered them not with frustration, but with focus. She wiped her face with her towel, bounced the ball deliberately and reset. What defined her fight was not perfection, but persistence. When her backhand faltered, she ran harder. When her serve lost precision, she leaned into her returns. The scoreboard told a story of narrow margins, but the court told a deeper one. A player unwilling to surrender ground, point by point, breath by breath. As the match wore on, the heat became a character of its own. The sun bore down without mercy, and the court seemed to absorb and reflect every degree of it. Still, Eala moved with purpose, sliding into corners, chasing down shots that seemed just out of reach. Each successful retrieval drew murmurs from the stands, small acknowledgments of something special taking shape. In the decisive moments, she found clarity. Where earlier rallies had been battles of attrition, now they became statements. A clean winner down the line. A perfectly timed drop shot that forced her opponent to sprint forward, only to arrive too late. These were not just tactical choices, they were declarations of belief. The final games were tense, compressed into tight sequences of serve, return, and rapid-fire exchanges. Every point felt elongated, as though time itself had slowed to witness the outcome. When the last ball finally landed in, sealing her victory, Eala allowed herself only a brief exhale. No roar. No grand gesture. Just a quiet, satisfied nod toward her team. The win meant her Abu Dhabi Open bid lived on, but more than that, it reinforced the identity she continues to build on tour. She is not simply a promising name or a future prospect. She is a competitor who understands that survival at this level requires more than skill. It demands resolve when the body aches, patience when momentum wavers, and courage when the stakes are highest. Walking off the court, racket in hand, Eala looked every bit like someone who knows the journey is far from over. There would be tougher matches ahead, sharper opponents, and moments when the climb would feel steeper still. But for now, under the fading Abu Dhabi sun, she had earned another chance to fight. And for Alexandra Eala, that chance is everything. On a court baked by the Abu Dhabi sun, where every bounce seems to rise a little higher and every breath feels a little heavier, Alexandra Eala stood at the center of a familiar struggle. This was not just another match. This was survival. The Abu Dhabi Open does not hand out mercy. It asks questions early and repeats them often. How badly do you want this? How long can you endure? For Eala, the answers were written not in loud declarations, but in movement. Quick steps to the baseline, a steady grip on the racket, eyes fixed forward even when the scoreline tightened. From the opening games, the battle revealed itself as one of will as much as skill. Rallies stretched across the court like drawn-out arguments, neither player willing to blink first. Eala absorbed the pressure, redirecting pace, refusing to be rushed. Each point won felt earned, chipped out of resistance rather than gifted by error. There were moments when the match threatened to slip away. A mistimed approach shot. A service game that lingered too long at deuce. The kind of moments where doubt sneaks in quietly, asking uncomfortable questions. But Eala has learned to coexist with pressure. She met those moments with composure, slowing the tempo, trusting her preparation. Her footwork told the story of the match. She chased balls that seemed destined to be winners, turning defense into opportunity. When her opponent tried to dictate play, Eala countered with depth and discipline, stretching rallies until cracks appeared. She did not overpower the court, she outlasted it. As the match wore on, the heat became relentless. The crowd shifted in their seats, the air thick with anticipation and warmth.